Welcome to Monday Morning Moments. I'm Mike Van Hoozer. Today, I wanted to talk to you about one of the 5 foundational pillars that we use to work with athletes in high school, college, and professional sports. And I think it's really important that you apply these when you're thinking specifically about the mental game and your mindset and building resiliency. And we use this in talks that we give with coaches and teams, but also one-on-one coaching with the high school, college, and pro athletes. But I think you'll also find application in other areas of life, whether it be business or life or community or home as well. But I'm going to specifically be focusing on it, what we talk about with athletes from a sports perspective. And so over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about these pillars on this Monday Morning Moments podcast, and we may go deeper on some other podcasts as well. So the first foundational pillar that we like to start with when we're coaching an athlete at whatever level is this idea of playing from acceptance and not for acceptance. Play from a place of acceptance, not for acceptance. And I think so many times I see people in sports, business, and life seeking validation and seeking acceptance, and they're, quote, playing for acceptance. And they want to seek out that validation, and that's how they derive confidence. And we believe that that's the wrong way to develop confidence, that you're trying to do it from an outside-in approach. And it looks like this. It's really based on a statement of if-then. If I do well, then I'll feel good about myself. And we tie it straight to our identity. If I make this shot, then I'll feel good about myself. If I make this pass, then I'll feel good about myself. If I accomplish my goals, then I'll feel good about myself. And you're relying on an outside force or an outside kind of outcome that you may not have control over, especially if you're playing in a team sport or if you're doing things where shots not falling that day. There's certain process-oriented things you can do. But when we base our true identity and the core of who we are on an outcome, then we're going to be disappointed at some point. And we can't seek out that acceptance from outside sources. And so we think there's a better way, and that better way is deriving confidence from an inside-out approach. And it's based on this phrase of because of the belief I have in my skills and talents and gifts, then I'm determined to have a great day today. Because of the belief and trust that my coaches have in me, I will have a great day today. Because of the past performances I've had or the preparation and practice that I've had this week, I'm determined to have a great day. And we actually get our athletes to write out a fuller statement than that. And it says, basically, I know every moment won't be perfect, but in those moments, I will respond based on, again, because of the belief and trust and the prep that I've done leading into this performance. And we just think that that is a better way, and that leads to playing from a place of acceptance because you're already stepping onto the field, onto the court from a place of acceptance and with confidence, instead of relying on some kind of if-then thing that determines, circumstance will determine whether you have confidence or not versus that solid foundation that you have inside of you. The other thing that's related to is that a lot of times I see athletes tie their identity to what they do. And, it looks like, what I do is who I am. And we don't believe that that's true. And I work especially with pro athletes on this because a lot of times they'll tie their identity straight to what they do. And that's how every conversation goes. If somebody sees them out in public, basically they're saying, oh, you're the quarterback or you're the whatever. And they'll talk about that. And when they have a much broader personality and much broader purpose than what they do every day. And the important thing about our identity is to make sure that we don't tie our identity to our performance and we don't tie our identity to what we do. Who we are is much broader than what we do. And so I think those two things are really key when we talk about playing from a place of acceptance and not for acceptance, not tying your identity to your performance and not tying your identity to what you do. And if you'll apply those and think about, who you are and the broader purpose and why you're here and what you do is just a natural revelation of those things that you get to do every day and your broader purpose. and also making sure that you walk into not only sports, but meetings that you have or conversations that you're going to have with people with, a humble confidence going into that, knowing that you've put in the preparation, that you're secure in who you are. And most of all, this foundational element comes from God and who we are in his eyes and being accepted in his eyes. And when we have that confidence in our faith and in who we are and our identity in God, in Jesus, then everything else is going to take care of itself, and we'll walk into those situations with a much broader perspective, and we'll be able to have faith over fear in those moments. So I just want to encourage you, whatever goal you're pursuing this week, this year, to play from a place of acceptance, not for acceptance. Walk into that, making sure you know who you are and that you've been blessed with gifts, talents, and opportunities to display those and to make an impact in the lives of other people. And don't conditionally, kind of put your confidence in outside circumstances that may or may not happen. Walk into those secure in who you are and what you're called to do every day. And as always, make the most of the moments in your life.